It's very bad news for me, because it's a very useful messaging app. I'm really sorry that they're blocking it, not only because I'm using it, but because it's against the Constitution.
I don't know. On one hand, maybe it's the right decision to have control. Terrorists chat on these messaging services. Drugs are also being sold.
Well, for more on the Telegram ban, our editor-at-large, Craig Kapitis, is joining us now from Paris. Craig, good to see you there. So authorities in Russia then are citing security concerns for this move, perhaps inevitably. Civil liberties campaigners expect not buying that excuse, though.
Well, civil liberties campaigners in Russia have the shelf life of a bucket of homemade yogurt. They're off the mark here. Yeah, it's security concerns, but not what they're talking about. Russia is under siege right now, and they are in acquire, command, and control mode. They want to get their hands on as much technology as they can because the sanctions are starting to bite them. And what's going on with Telegram is just another instance in this. Look, over the last week, these sanctions have sucked more than $12 billion out of the Russian stock market, and the Russians are not pleased.
Help me understand then, Craig. You say they want to get their hands on the technology. Why is Telegram being blocked, which was made in Russia, yet WhatsApp, which was made in the US, is still encrypted? Russians can still use that one.
Is it being blocked, or are they putting it into a situation where it can be acquired, along with WhatsApp? Look, just today, this morning, moments after this Telegram announcement, Deputy Chairman of the Duma Legislative Committee, Mikhail Elmayanov, made a statement. I believe we have his statement up on the screen. What he said was, "We'll gut punch the Americans, since it's precisely intellectual property that's responsible for all their success, all of the domination of the Anglo-Saxon Western world." At the same time, the Duma put together legislation that gives Russia the authority to waive copyright restrictions, allowing Russians to produce these items without the consent or the payment of the foreign patent holder. What will happen here, if history is any guide, the Russian government is going to try to take control of this technology and not have to pay for it.
Well, even the Kremlin officials...
They're doing this in other areas as well.
Even the Kremlin officials, Craig, are reported to be using Telegram. So if ever there was a thumbs up for the technology, surely that's it.
Oh, sure, this is good stuff. But, you know, Russia has really been slapped by this weaponization of the U.S. dollar, Paul. I mean, over the past 2 days, Citigroup, Credit Suisse, Goldman Sachs, and even the likes of Moody's and Fitch Ratings have been scrambling to shed their ties with Russia because they're all afraid about going to jail over these sanctions. Russia is in dire straits right now, and it's getting worse. On top of that, the London Metal Exchange this week stripped any stock metal from Rusal, Deripaska's big aluminum company. I've never heard of that happening before. So we are entering uncharted waters here. And the big question is, what's going to happen, whether it's Telegram or whomever? What's going to happen when someone has to pay Russia money and a bank won't accept the cash? That's where we're going. That's a question for Mrs. Merkel in Germany and for the EU. because they send Russia lots of cash for natural gas. What's going to happen when the banks won't accept the check?
It's obviously all beginning to bite for Russia and for the Kremlin. Telegram says that this is a warning to tech firms about doing business in Russia. It's hard to disagree, isn't it? It's not exactly going to attract investors right now.
Look, Telegram is a blockchain outfit. They're trying to issue an ICO, initial coin offering. Their take on Russia is naive in the extreme. That technology that Telegram and all these other companies have, the Russians are going to start abusing. I mean, as this member of the Duma said, I mean, the idea that a sovereign nation would pass legislation telling its corporations and individuals to forego international, copyright and patent laws to take control of this stuff is remarkable. Not even the Chinese say that officially.
Saying it in the open. Craig, thank you. Craig Capitas there in Paris.